So welcome everyone. On one hand, you may have heard, can everyone hear me okay, by the way? Yes? Awesome. On one hand, you may have heard that email marketing is the best thing since sliced bread. You know, it's the single best, most effective form of online marketing, yada, 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 with up to a 40 times return on investment. On the other hand, and my company, we send just under a couple of billion emails a year, and the moment people hear that, they kind of look at me wide-eyed and say, but Tiz, it just happened a few hours ago, does email marketing even still work? So that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be answering the question, does email marketing still work, and if so, how? We've got an amazing team of panelists. I will introduce them shortly. We're going to be talking about how to grow your email list if you don't already have one, how to continue growing your email list, because it's not just about having a big email list, it's about having a healthy, engaged, profitable email list. And that goes through the constant injection of new subscribers. We're going to be talking about how to increase your open rates and click-through rates. If you have been looking at these stats recently in the last few months, you may have noticed that they have actually increased. If you have been looking at revenue in the last few months, you may have noticed that it has stagnated or even decreased. So how do you reconcile the fact that you've got more engagement in theory on your list, but less revenue? And those numbers are artificially inflated. There are specific reasons for that, and we're going to be talking about that. And finally, perhaps my favorite, we're going to be talking about this black magic, moving target, never-ending goal of email deliverability. But without further ado, let me introduce the panelists. We have David Stodolak, who is the CEO of Solar Direct Marketing and the CRO of Connection Holdings. He has sold in excess of $100 million in leads that have resulted in over $500 million in revenue for his clients. Two of his companies have made this year's Inc. 500 and Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing companies. We then have Liz Graham, who is the president and CEO of Graham List Management, who makes a lot of money for her list management clients, and is also involved as a partner in a number of health and fitness niches. Last but not least, she's wife to trophy husband Alan and two teenage daughters. And we have here Oksana. Oksana is an affiliate marketer with over 13 years of experience. She's predominantly active in email marketing and generates over 7 figures in revenue monthly with her team of media buyers. So without further ado, let's start with you, Oksana. What verticals are you seeing the highest EPCs in at the moment, and what angles do you see working best?
I believe that for email marketing, email marketing can be successful in any vertical, literally. As you said, the most important is you find your audience and you make the list healthy, engaged, and alive. Me, predominantly, I work with dating. So for me, I have wide, let's say, very variety of funnels, how I can engage users and then be interested in my emails. But you don't have to only sell, always sell, and sell. You actually have to engage people with content first of all, and then you can add some affiliate links into that. But this is it. So your EPC, it's not about even vertical or not even about audience. It's about you, how greedy you are. It right. Sometimes depends. You get less clicks, but these clicks lead into much higher EPC.
So following on that point about, and I can absolutely relate to that, email marketing is very much about how greedy you are, right? In that respect, and it's always a very fine balance. I'd like to ask you, Liz, data can clearly make or break an email campaign, right? So how do you choose the right monetization partner? What metrics should clients or potential clients look at? Yes, can you comment a little bit more on that, please?
So I feel like we get really bogged down in EPC and PPM, and I like to look at total revenue and compare it to recent other ones. So we're looking at the most money in a period of time. So usually I do like weekly or monthly high performers when I'm really looking total revenue. Like I follow the money. I guess I'm greedy.
We all do. Everyone's here do.
David, you collect a lot of data. You've collected huge amounts of I'm sure name, email, phone number, location, zip codes, etc. data. Are you remarketing to that data, and are there any strategies you can share with the audience?
Yeah, 100%. I spoke earlier about lead generation and maximizing, squeezing more juice out of your leads. So you got to get creative, right? In the United States, people are spending a lot of money on remodeling their homes, home improvement, windows, roofing, that kind of stuff. So one thing that we're doing a lot of is using our home improvement data. Our clients use it to email, and we're getting $2 to $3 EPCs on that kind of stuff, performing pretty decent. And then what happens is 2 to 3 days later, they email them for solar, and then they make another couple bucks doing that. I talked about a double tap method when you call. It's almost like another double tap method when you email. So you use that same audience. To go solar, you have to be a homeowner. If you're going to get a new roof, windows, whatever, you have to be a homeowner. So you get targeted from those angles. That worked very well for mortgage too for a long time for refinance. Obviously, refinance is pretty dead in America. But now what people are doing is they're taking money out of their houses, doing second mortgages or cash out refi. So again, get creative. Look at those lookalike audiences, how you can squeeze more juice out of your leads. And if you do that, the name of the game is, it's good to be greedy because, you're going to be able to do what's best for your client. If your client's happy, if they're converting, then you're going to be happy too. So you got to look at those matches and where you can marry those audiences for multiple offers. So home improvement, solar, phenomenal. Mortgage, cash out refi, that's really the trends I'm seeing right now from a lead gen perspective in the USA.
Thank you, David. Just before we move on to open rates and click-through rates, for those here who don't yet have an email list, maybe can we just go around and each one of you share one tip that a complete beginner could use to start building an email list? Please, Roxana.
Okay, so me is media buyer, yes. So like I buy lots of traffic. All traffic goes through my pre-lenders. So kind of easier, but not only easier, but the most balanced way how to do it. So you actually start collecting emails on your pre-lenders because there you control everything. Like you actually ask user consent and you know how the page looks, and then like you send them to final destination to an advertiser, but the same you have email, but you also have other data which you can then collect and then additionally monetize. So actually like when users still going through your funnel, why not to add like one field or one step or like anything but to catch the user, and this will be the first step where you start collecting your email list which you can work further with.
Thank you. Ladies.
So I'm going to give you a hot tip that not a lot of affiliates know. If you're a pretty like baller affiliate for an offer owner, they will give you, they'll like basically CC the API at the sale level to you. So work that deal out, like where you're getting a copy of the list that you're building for this other offer owner as an affiliate. It's very lucrative.
CC your API.
Yep.
Never heard that term. Fantastic. Love it. I'll borrow it. Thank you, Liz. David.
For me, it's really finding where the money's at, where you can get the highest payouts. And I think if you do that, and you listen to people that are doing well. For me in lead gen, James Van Elswick was a very big influence on me. I got to see what he was doing. We worked together. We got into solar and blew that up. So I would say, follow what the experts are doing here and see what are the areas that they're doing well with. And you got to figure out where you want to focus on, where you're going to focus your efforts, and you want to get as much of a payout as possible. So I'd say start in the vertical, or whether that's e-com or the lead gen, that makes sense, and go for the meat and try to get as much of that meat as possible and get education. Spend money on yourself to learn from experts so that you can, you can collapse time frames. Time is money. The sooner you can invest in yourself, the sooner you can start testing, the sooner you're going to start making more money, more ROI for your campaigns and for your clients. So that's what I would say.
Thank you. Thank you, David. And moving on to subject lines and open rates now. What are the key elements that you would test in an email other than the subject line? Are there some things you can share?
I think for us, it's really It's copy. You know, the copy's huge. You have to have a good copywriter in your team. We work with a lot of email marketers, and we have one in particular that's been doing home mortgage for years, and the guy's a phenomenal copywriter. But he spent a lot of money on himself. He spent tons of money, maybe tens of thousands of dollars, going to seminars. He wasted a lot of money in the beginning, but he kept going and kept going, kept going, and he's a phenomenal copywriter. So I think for me, the successful emailers I see, they just are phenomenal copywriters. They know what they're doing. They're always testing new things, and when they're doing well, they don't stay complacent. They're always trying something else, different angles. So to me, that's the key, is good copywriting and someone that's kind of got this insatiable desire to keep doing better and to keep learning and trying different angles and split testing at the end of the day.
Thank you.
Yep.
Liz, Oksana, would you like to comment on that?
I would like to comment that like even if you found some like successful subject or text or whatever, never stuck into it for too long, because like keep testing or keep changing at least. Or as I say in like subject, what works the best is like say poke the wound, like find something that people like struggle with or have like pain or like suffering, and then like go out of it, like change something, maybe in some one word or like couple of symbols. They always matter.
So look for the details, effectively.
Yes.
Yeah. Liz.
I think that like if we're just following the money, split testing the offer is actually more important than the subject or even the copy. So test offers too.
Thank you. We'll come back to that at the end if we have time. It's a very interesting topic. In that respect, Oksana, you know, you are doing very well with email. You know, all of you are doing huge numbers with email. And if you've been in this game for a while, after some time, you will end up with a segment of your list that is less active. Some people call it inactive, some people call it dead. So, Oksana, do you mind sharing maybe how you attempt to re-engage inactive subscribers? Is it even worth trying to re-engage inactive subscribers? If you ring up an ESP, so an email service provider, 9 times out of 10, especially on the on the lower scale, end of the scale, they will tell you, no, if it's an inactive list, don't touch it, don't upload it, we're not gonna do anything with it. What's your perspective?
My perspective is at some point, yeah, so if I see some segments of my traffic or my collected emails, they not active anymore, like they not even like opening, they not even like, we're not even talking about clicking after, but not opening, then I wouldn't even like try, because it all affects on reputation. The reputation of service. The less people click, the less people interested, the less reputation you have, the more struggle you have after, and then it causing more problems at the end. Like you might lose servers, you can like going down, and then you have even less opening, because already not about because of inactive users, but actually about like Google like lowering down your reputation. So for me, it's better I would concentrate more on gaining new audience, new active audience who I will work with, instead of trying to re-engage inactive users.
Thank you. So you would effectively drop the unengaged users, focus on getting new users.
For new fresh audience, yes.
Liz.
My answer is very carefully. Like, this is something you want to pay somebody that knows what they're doing, to Oksana's point. Like, it can literally ruin your whole list. So if the whole list is inactive, like somebody's like, oh, here's a list from 5 years ago. No.
No.
If it's a list you're running, like, and you have active engagers, you can take the inactives out and like drip them through like very slowly, and you're watching this whole other, like, it's like a baby over here, your good list, and you're just dripping these ones through like an autoresponder and keeping the good ones and dumping the trash. Like, that's a really good, and what they're going through in that autoresponder are things that the list has responded to best in the past. So what are they opening and clicking on? And it might not be even money stuff, it might be content. So that's what I do, but it's very carefully.
Absolutely. We do that as well, and what Liz just shared is a really valuable insider tip that you wouldn't find in many places. David, would you like to comment on this?
Yeah, I think what Liz said makes a lot of sense. I mean, you got to try to re-engage them as best as possible. And for us, you know, we're in lead gen, and our data, there's a lot of gold in the data. And, you know, a lot of the data that we sell for, let's say, solar, most people don't qualify for solar. You got to have a certain electric bill. So you have to be a homeowner. You have to have like 5 or 6 different requirements. So what we do is we resell that data to people that might be in what's called deregulated energy. So for deregulated energy, that's more of a wider marketplace. You could be a renter to get deregulated energy. So now that data gets monetized for a deregulated energy company. At the end of the day, the consumer wants to save money, whether it's with solar or whether it's a lower electric bill with deregulated energy. So that's a way to squeeze a little bit more juice out of the data and to go after the people that maybe didn't click on the solar ad, or maybe they did click on the solar ad, but they didn't qualify. So I think what you said is kind of along the same lines. And then from a lead gen perspective, you're killing multiple birds with one stone, and your client is happy, and at the end of the day, the user's happy because they're getting what they wanted. They clicked on an ad to save money, and they're saving money one way or the other, whether it was with solar or with something else.
Thank you for sharing that. That's fascinating. We have 3 very different perspectives. Basically, don't touch them. Touch them very carefully with a bit of a hack, or think about, which is also very insightful, think about what the subscriber really needs. What goal is he trying to achieve?
Yeah.
This is a bit more of an advanced question for the advanced email marketers in the audience. If you're not familiar with the term, the sender name is when you receive an email, what is the name that shows up as the sender? That is a text field that can be set to be anything. So I wanted to ask you is, do you do any testing on sender names? And if you do, how far do you push the line? Because you can, in theory, put anything in there, right?
I believe maybe you can answer this question with that.
So I push it as far as I can legally.
Right.
So we talked about in my talk earlier that things that change catch attention and they typically make more money. So like literally a few Saturdays ago, I sent an email from your leaky butt and then the company's name. And like people in our industry knew, like I run that list and they're like, really list? I'm like, you freaking took a picture and sent it to me, it worked.
Absolutely.
But you have to identify who it's from legally for can spam. So it can some of my clients don't want to do it, and I respect that. And they just want it to be from the company name. But you can change it to add words, or you can even, my clients that don't want to change the from names, you can change it and still be from them. So it can be like from Liz, or it can be from Liz Graham. You see what I mean? Like, so you can all caps, lowercase, emojis. Be creative.
Awesome. Thank you. Emojis in subject lines have been a big thing in the last 12, 24 months. Is that something you'd like to comment on? Have you had any success with that? Liz, maybe? Have you tested?
Ask the question. I didn't hear it. I blocked out.
Emojis in subject lines.
Emoji.
Just emojis.
Oh. Yeah, so I have tested it. It did well. You can't do it every time.
Right.
It's one of those one-offs, like from your leaky butt.
Here's a question for you, Oksana. Moving on to email deliverability. Is good email deliverability compatible with good revenue, or do they go in opposite directions?
No, actually, no. It is good deliverability. Okay, yes. At the end, what matters is offer. Okay, if offer is good, then you can build all funnel around it. But let's say if you have poor deliverability, then no matter how good your offer is, people don't see it. So, so yes, deliverability is very important. But I would say yes, it's still like it's a funnel. It's like working in a pair. It's a dance.
It's a dance.
Very true. Yeah, thank you.
I agree.
I agree.
Any different perspectives?
I think that you can focus so much on deliverability that you cut into the revenue, which is what she was saying. Like, it's a dance. Like, you have to get really clear on what your goal is when you're emailing. Like, is it to make money or is it to keep subscribers? Like, those are also at odds somewhat.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you have to have the email deliverability for even people to see your email. But if that's all you focus on exclusively, I think that it'll ultimately actually hurt you too. So you have to it's a dance.
It's a dance. It's a fine line. Absolutely.
Very technical term.
How do you measure email deliverability in your businesses?
For me, it's clicks.
Clicks.
It's all
okay.
clicks.
So good email deliverability equals clicks.
Opens, clicks,
Opens, clicks.
revenue.
Yes, I mean, what matters at the end is EPC. It's earning per click.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you judge the success of a campaign? Do you judge it by EPC? Do you judge it by total revenue? Do you judge it by any other metrics?
I do judge it on ROI.
Okay. How do you work out the ROI?
So for me, but let's say, for me it's more complex than just sending an email to the user. So let's say I'm buying a user, and then he has his unique identifier, let's say click ID. And then click this user or this click ID, it goes through my funnel, so it can end up at buying something or registering. So this is one part of the revenue. Then I collect his data, and I might send him an email, which he clicks, and then he ends up in another offer. So it's another part of revenue. Then it might be this user rebrokered to some other brand. But so all these little revenues, they got combined, and this is what I measure. So it's ROI per click ID for me.
Interesting. Liz?
If revenue is the goal, then I go by revenue solely. If engagement is the goal, which sometimes it is, we talked about re-engagement, then opens and clicks are the goal. So it depends on what usually it's money though, I'm just gonna be real.
I agree. I mean, to us, it's revenue per email.
Yeah.
You know, we sell a lot of data, and we have a wide range in how the data performs, how much money we make per record, revenue per email, and the higher it is, we're usually somewhere in the mid-range. I mean, sometimes it'll be a few pennies, sometimes it'll be closer to 20 cents. You know, so it's a matter of just monitoring that and seeing what's hot and using good data to get that. And if the data's performing, they keep buying from us. So I agree. It's really the revenue at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of you are, managing large amounts of data, spending a lot of money buying data. And one of the questions I get asked all the time is well, how can I build an email list fast? And naturally, paid media is one of those ways. The question is then, how soon do you ROI on that investment when you're building a list, right? So you're spending a few bucks today, however many, right? How many days or weeks into that subscriber's lifetime do you break even?
There is no right answer.
Yeah.
Honestly, all depends on volumes you're buying. You can start building your leads from, I don't know, second day, but also it's never-ending story. It's not like you bought your traffic and that's all. You're buying and buying and buying. Your list is growing and you're cleaning and it's engaging, whatever. So, I don't know. I mean, from a second day, honestly. And then you can start working with your list. Of course, volumes wouldn't be great, but I mean, it's also the fresher your user, the better. It's not like you collect it and then you wait to monetize him somewhere later. No.
Is there a target number of days that you would say, hey, if I can break even within 30, 60 days, then I'm happy, or I will scale up that source?
No, I mean, for me, email, yes, it's not I'm only buying data for the sake of emailing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm buying data, first of all, to send them to final advertiser, and having emails as an additional revenue. So for me, it's additional revenue combined. So I would say I do weekly spends. So I measure by weeks and then by months. So after a week, I can already understand if this data worth optimizing or I have to stop and to focus on something else.
Thank you. We have a few more minutes. I think we can open the floor to questions. We've got some very interesting and very different perspectives here on how to do email. So who wants to go first? There we go. 3. Thank you. because it's very loud, if you don't mind speaking up and perhaps
Yeah,
standing.
it's
Thank
hard
you.
to hear.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
So first of all, thank you for the talk, everyone. I'm mostly in the e-commerce space and doing email marketing for that. And lately, I've been asked by an affiliate friend to assist him. And usually, what I do is like pop-ups to collect emails and SMS and everything. Does that work for affiliate the same, or do you use other methods for doing that?
It can be. I tested it. Me personally, I don't really use it because it affects CTR of the lender for me. So what I do, and that's why I prefer to work with all advertisers directly, because with like tighter your relationship, better, like more they can share, more functionality they can give you. So working directly, they can provide you with API where you can send user directly into their product from your page. So like your pre-lender, instead of just redirecting to advertiser, it ends up with registration page and fields. So user adds all data at your page and then you send it to the product. So you get all the data. You get all the data which you can work with. You not only get email, you have much more stuff to work. Because, I mean, yes, if you only use traditional flow with pre-lenders, you don't have visibility. So you have to find other ways, like you say, like Popender. Can it be done? Yes, it can be. Will it affect your CTR? It will. So it depends, like you find right balance, if it's for you or not for you.
Hi, my question is to Liz. I saw your presentation and it was a heck of bragging.
Oh.
It was really big numbers, okay? So my question is bit technical. So what kind of service provider you use to send emails on such high volume of emails? Like if you send to Comcast.net, Yahoo, AOL, they are blocking emails pretty quickly. So what are the ESPs you are using? You are into dedicated servers or something else?
So usually on my really big list, you're asking for the high volume list. I usually use Marpost and Entreport.
Okay, so they allow affiliate marketing directly.
Yes.
So we need to talk to them, or there is something else backdoor we need to talk.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So you into dedicated servers as well, or you only use service providers to send emails? Do you use dedicated servers as well to send? Yeah.
It's up to my client. Some of them,
Already
it depends. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't.
Okay, sometimes they have their own servers
Yes.
which you can.
Yes.
So
we have time, sorry to
Thank you,
interrupt
thank
you. We
you.
just have time for one question and perhaps you can take
Yes.
it offline.
It's me.
One quick question before we have to wrap up.
Hey, how's it going? Do any of you guys use platforms like retention.com or get emails to collect the email and SMS data? Do any of you utilize platforms like retention.com or get emails to get the email or phone data from a landing page without someone having to opt in?
Yes.
What's the best way to be able to get the highest earnings per lead with that, and how do you best monetize those people so they're very, very engaged?
So usually I harvest those off of the actual sales landers and then I retarget them with what they were on.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. We are right on time. We have to wrap this up, but thank you, everyone, for being here, for the questions. And please join me in giving a big round of applause to David, Liz, and Oksana. Thank you.